Whether it's a natural disaster or a cyber attack, having a bulletproof disaster recovery plan can be the difference between bouncing back or facing serious downtime. Here to discuss how businesses can prepare for the unexpected is Amy Justis, president of CMIT Solutions of Charleston. Amy, great to have you back here with us.
Thanks so much. It's great to be back.
So we are on the tails of Hurricane Helene, who hit our neighbors in Western North Carolina very hard. And this is becoming more prevalent, the importance of a disaster plan. Why are these so important for small to mid-sized businesses?
It's important because there's often a loss of data or equipment following some kind of natural disaster. And if you plan ahead and have an actual plan in place, I think the potential impact of that is so much less.
I think it's important that we talk about some of the numbers and the statistics of what we're seeing when these catastrophic events happen. How much money has Hurricane Helene caused impact-wise for businesses?
Well, I know that I had seen a number within the first 2 weeks. It was $50 billion, but I'm sure that number has just mushroomed as businesses are unable to reopen and there's ongoing loss of revenue and people unable to get to their locations.
That's very true. And even if you get through the disaster, the business continuity is something that we struggle with as well. What is the percentage of businesses who face this catastrophic impact? How many of them end up having to close?
Well, it can be different for different types of damages, but a number that I had seen that's actually horrific is for businesses that have a catastrophic loss of data. I mean, that means, very, very extensive. 97% of them close within 2 years. And I think of that, 50% may not even reopen after the initial and fail within the first year. And then the other remaining percentage may end up failing within that 2-year window. So it's scary.
You made an interesting point about the technology, catastrophic technology disruptions. When we think about these natural disasters, the physical damage is the first thing that comes to mind, but the technology disruptions can be even more, they can hit even harder. So what are some ways that we can protect our technology in the face of a natural disaster?
Well, having good backups is very critical. And as we've moved so much to cloud solutions, even having cloud backups are very important. That could be Microsoft or Google, and backing up, having a third-party backup solution. Okay. But reviewing all of your critical applications and making sure those are covered. Equipment needs to be protected. Anything that's low on the floor needs to be lifted up on a higher shelf, covering anything vulnerable to a roof leak.
Okay, so should we invest in some kind of waterproof casing? Maybe if we work from home, remote working is becoming a lot more, we're seeing that more often. How do we protect if we work and live from our home, how do we go about that?
Even simple things like covering, if you're in an area where you believe you're vulnerable to roof leaks or anything, even trash bags and plastic covering can make a big difference. So I don't think it has to necessarily, for remote workers, be a hugely extensive plan, but it does need to be thought through. Bring critical equipment with you or cover anything that you can't. Think about power.
I think that it has came to the surface even more so recently, the importance of having a disaster plan for businesses. And how can CMIT Solutions help with that?
Well, we partner with our clients to make sure that they have a plan and that plan is tested. So when we have a named storm, we reach out to each client and we actually go through that with them, make sure that they are communicating with critical players on their teams. So putting that plan together to encompass not only their technology, but their HR. What are the remote workers going to do in the event of a storm? And walking through, doing some role playing is a good idea.
Yeah. Wonderful. Amy, thank you so much for sharing that with us. CMITsolutions.com/Charleston is where you can go for more information. And this is such a timely thing that we're talking about, so we really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
We're back in 2 minutes.